Okay, so just to introduce Scott a little bit, I know he's going to introduce himself, but I met Scott working at Ledcor when I supported our industrial and contractors division. So he was one of the managers that I supported, probably the funnest, I want to say, by far, of course. And he can do a worm like nobody else on the dance floor. That's probably one of the first times I met you. So I'm going to mute everyone. And then you can.
Do you want me to start the screen share?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I think that's everyone.
All right. Okay, can you see that okay, Amanda? Yeah.
Yes.
Are you muted yourself too?
Yeah, I mute myself, so it looks good. I can see it fine.
Okay. All right. So I'll just get the presentation started here for you guys. Okay, so first of all, thanks to Amanda for inviting me on. Really looking forward to sharing the information I have for you guys. Here's quick kind of what to expect over the next, we're kind of scheduled for about an hour. I'm hoping to kind of do a quick introduction, why we're talking about Instagram and why it should matter to you guys. And then I'm going to get right into I guess the bulk of the information that I have to share with you guys today. And then I'm going to open it up for a little Q&A near the end there. Hopefully we'll have about 10 or 15 minutes where everyone can feel free to ask some questions, and then we'll just kind of wrap it up right at the end there. So really quick, who am I? I was born in Wetaskiwin, so grew up in and around the Edmonton area. And a couple of years ago, I created this list called the 35 for 35. It's 35 different items I wanted to accomplish in the calendar year that I was turning 35. And one of those things was take a photo a day. I kind of looked back through my photo albums, boxes, all that kind of stuff, and I realized I really hadn't taken any pictures. I didn't capture any memories, anything like that. And just so happened at that time in my life, my mom had become very ill. And so I really regretted not capturing those moments over the years. So went ahead, looked for what's the best way to capture, these memories and these photos. And I had heard about Instagram, but really hadn't played with it much at all. Had a friend that told me that's probably my best option and go from there. So I got on Instagram, just like every social media platform out there. I didn't really know what I was doing at the beginning, didn't really get it, but quickly started to have some fun with it, built my photo album out like I had hoped. And then it wasn't until probably earlier this year where I really started to see the power of Instagram. And we'll get into that a little bit more here in just a little bit. But at the beginning of the year, on my personal account, I had less than 1,000. After I started a new fitness challenge, actually, I grew that account to 4 times that in about 3 months. And now I've created some additional accounts, starting to play around more and more all the time. So I guess long story short, I'm going to share what I learned through that process with you here tonight. So I guess real quick, Amanda, maybe I'll just stop right there and kind of see if anyone has any questions at this moment, or if we should just jump right into it. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah. I say just jump right in.
Just jump right in?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I hope you guys are taking notes, because I am just going to flood you guys with information tonight. And starting with that is why Instagram. So right now, Instagram has over 500 million active users. That's active users. So not just accounts that are sitting on the shelf that someone created, 2 years ago when Instagram was a nothing platform. These are 500 million active users. So to put that into perspective, that's, what would that be? I think the population of Canada is right around 35 million. So you can multiply that by 10 and then some. I think the United States has a population of 370 million. So that should give you an idea of how many people are currently on Instagram actively using the platform. Another interesting statistic that I recently found was posts on Instagram are 58 times more likely to get an engagement than the similar post if it was placed on Facebook. So 58 times. And what I'm talking about in regards to engagement is like, comment, conversation, discussion, any kind of engagement. Another really important statistic here that anyone who would be looking for Instagram to help them with their business is only 20% of marketers are on Instagram and 97% of marketers are on Facebook. So just that comparison against the two platforms again, telling us that Instagram is still a fairly wide open platform. Another thing is it's fun. If you guys really get into Instagram and start to use it and just kind of be yourself, it's a lot of fun. And this 1,000 follower challenge was something that I created a private Facebook group to kind of document what I was learning with Instagram. And I decided, to show the power of how fast it can be done to grow a significant following on Instagram, I created this 1,000 follower challenge where I wanted to get to 1,000 followers in 10 days or less. And I think I got to the 1,000 followers in actually just under 9 days. And so you can grow a following on Instagram very quickly if you're focused and you follow the steps that I'm about to outline for you. Okay, so as we go along, there's 5 things that I thought you guys should be very focused and conscious of. One thing, the golden rule, like the number 1 golden rule. I know I have 5 here, but the number 1 golden rule that I would tell you guys over and over and over and over again is always be testing. And what do I mean by that? It means the thing that worked last week may not work this week. So always be testing. What I share with you guys here are things that have worked for me over and over and over again, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work a month from now, a year from now. But the good news is usually you just have to slightly adjust the way you go about things, and then you'll be right back on track again. But always be testing. And we'll get more into that. You'll hear me say that probably a dozen times tonight. Consistency is key with Instagram. If you go at it like gangbusters and then fall off, you're going to see a significant impact. You can't just go out there and post 10 posts and then take the week off and then come back and hope that your engagement stays. Instagram rewards people that are consistent. And we'll get more into what I mean by consistency when I talk about content creation. Be authentic, be yourself. That was probably the number 1 reason I fell in love with Instagram. Was I find it to be the most authentic platform out there for social media. Yeah, you can still make yourself look a certain way, but it's a lot harder when the pictures that you're posting, they're a lot more difficult to hide behind a 3-line post on Facebook. So just embrace what it is and be authentic and be yourself. Be social. It's a social media platform. So be social. A lot of people forget about that. They look at it as, okay, I need to do step 1, 2, and 3, and I should get result X, Y, or Z. Just go out there and be social. That's probably the best thing you can do, is just go out, network, talk to people as if you were talking to them in person. And stop looking for customers, but build an audience. And what I mean by that is the definition of a customer, basically just in its most simple terms, is a transaction between one person or organization, between one person in an organization and another. By building an audience, you build a following, a bunch of people, a group of people that are waiting for your content, for your message, whatever it is that you bring to the table. People will be just waiting for it if you build an audience the right way. Okay, so I'm going to really focus on 3 main areas: building the foundation, content strategy, and growth. But along the way, I'm going to give you guys a bunch of quick tips too. So this is where the pen and paper are going to come in handy. The quick tips are going to be things that, as I've shared them with other people, it's those, whoa, I never knew that type of tips. So make sure you're keeping notes, because I'm going to go through this pretty quick. But if you have any questions as we're going along, just write them down, and Amanda and I'll take some questions as we go along. Okay, so let's get started. This is the most important part. Just like everything, you talk about building a house. I'm sure you've heard that analogy a number of times, or anything you really do in life. You need to have a solid foundation if you're going to get the results you're looking for. So these are very important to consider when, not only if you're starting an Instagram account, but even if you have an existing Instagram account, you might want to go back and just think about these 4 things. And the first thing we'll talk about is page type selection. So there's 3 different page types to consider. 1, personal page. So a personal page is just what it sounds like. It's, Scott Weller's day-to-day life, what I post, family, friends, the backyard, barbecues, swimming lessons, all that kind of stuff. It's your personal life. It can also be treated as a personal brand page. And without getting too far into that, if you know anything about building a personal brand, it's all about being who you are. If you're trying to take your business down an avenue that's tied closely to your personal brand, I would definitely suggest looking at this option. A business page is exactly what that sounds like. It is primarily based around your business. So whether it be network marketing, or it be a brick and mortar storefront, or anything, its primary purpose exists to share your message for your business. So in my opinion, the name of this business page would be the name of your business, not necessarily Scott Weller. Okay. And then there's fan pages, which are the third option, which are more based around a subject or topic that then supports your business or personal page. So you'll see in some of the examples I'm going to go over, I have a fan page that's dedicated to boxer dogs. So I will share that with you guys here in a few minutes. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you that right now. And I hope you guys can see this. Everyone see this? Okay. Amanda, you can see the phone? Yeah. Okay. So actually, I'm going to stick back there. Okay. So as you can see, I got the real Scott Weller. This is my personal page, but I'm also building a personal brand through this page. Okay. So you can see, and I am definitely the guy that will tell you guys to do as I say, not as I do, as I go along, because I'm in the middle of testing some ideas. So anyway, this is my personal page. You'll see, and I'll get more into this when we talk about content strategy, but you'll see I have quotes and different things on the right-hand side, all with a white background. In the middle is kind of like adventure, different destinations, that kind of stuff. And then everything else is on the left. So it has a lot to do with exercise, nutrition, a lot of my dog, and different things that I have going on in my personal life. So all of this helps support me building my personal brand and how I want people to perceive that. My Boxer Dog Buddy would be a fan page. It's an example of people that love boxer dogs. As you can see, almost 8,000 people following that page now. When you get up to a certain amount and you get to a level of engagement, there's a lot of flexibility on what you can do with that page. And the beauty part about this, and I'll get more into this, actually, I'll give you guys your first quick tip. And that is one of the most common questions I get is, how do you come up with content ongoing? And my suggestion is always content creation if you're having a hard time coming up with ideas. And content curation is when you take other people's content, repurpose it, and give them credit for it. Besides a few pictures of my dog Jax, like this one here, every other photo on this page is someone else's. And all I've done, if you can see in that profile description, it says tag us with our profile name to allow us to repost your pics of your boxer buddy. And I get anywhere from 10 to 50 different tags a day. So that gives me a ton of content to play with. And the beauty part about it is when you post someone else's content, a picture of their boxer buddy, they feel more connected to the brand, and they're more likely to share the brand name and to, what I like to call, sneeze your name, which is tell everyone about it, infect everyone, right? When you sneeze, achoo. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's our first example. Okay. This next subject is huge. And I don't know how much you guys have spent on trying to define your ideal customer, but it is the single most important thing you can do in a business. Because from there, if you can understand your customer, you can then start to think like them and supply them with exactly what they're looking for. So figure out who your ideal customer is, how you can help them. And I'm just going to pull up something here real quick. And I'm just going to give you a few questions to consider when you're trying to figure out who is your Bob. And actually, sorry, just give me a couple of seconds here. All right. I'll just, so why is it called What About Bob? I'll just share that story here real quick. A couple of months ago, I've been helping my sister. She has her own business, and she's been wanting to learn more about Instagram and how she can use it for her business. And so a couple of months ago, I was over there, and we were sitting around the backyard with her 3 youngest kids. And she has 3 older kids. Yeah, she has a big family. And we were talking about this subject about defining your ideal customer. And, I was telling her, think about it. Is your ideal customer male, female? Do they have a job? Do they have kids? Do they have a dog? Get to that level of detail. And then I even looked at her. I'm like, if you have to, give them a name. Give them any name. What name do you want your ideal customer to be? And then my 9-year-old nephew at the time. He's like, name him Bob, name him Bob. So it kind of stuck ever since then. So what about Bob? It's all about figuring out who your ideal customer is. So if you get a clear vision of who Bob is, you're going to find it simpler to attract followers, easier to create content that's going to connect with them. You'll connect a deeper level with your audience, and you'll create way more value for your audience. And really, that's what it's all about. It's about creating more and more value for your audience. So how do you identify your Bob? Here are some questions. Kind of went through a few of them already. Are they male, female? What age group? Where do they hang out online? Where do they hang out in the real world? What are their hobbies? What are their dreams? What are their fears? Do they have kids? Do they have pets? Were they married, divorced, never married? Do they prefer to read or watch movies? When you can get to that level of detail, the rest is easier, way easier. You're not guessing. So to go a little bit deeper even, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys here, but if you can get to this level, it's going to help with everything you do in your business. If you can answer these 3 questions, what is a problem, an urgent pain, or unfulfilled desire that you can help them with? What are their values or beliefs? And third, what is a common enemy that you and your Bob stand against? So here's another quick tip. I know this is probably the single biggest challenge I had. So I'm going to give you guys a quick tip, okay? And you can use this for now until you can dive deeper and deeper and deeper as you progress. But really, a quick hack, if you want to call it that, or quick tip, is your Bob or your ideal customer typically 95% of the time is you 2 to 3 years ago, maybe 12 months ago, whatever that time frame is, but it's you, a past version of yourself. So you should be able to answer all of these questions. Okay? All right, let's keep going. So the next thing you're going to do when you're building out your foundation, after you've decided what page type you're going to create, you've figured out who your Bob is, you're going to identify the influencers in your market. So why identify those influencers? Because they're the people that people are in your market are already paying attention to. So you need to go and take a look and see what they're doing. What kind of pictures are they posting? What kind of hashtags are they using? All of this. That you really want to take the time to find out who's already in your space making waves. I'm just going to bring up my influencers over here, and we're going to talk about the three different types of influencers that you can look for, okay? One is the most obvious one. It's the huge accounts. So let's say we go back to the Boxer Dog Buddy. I'm looking for the accounts with the most followers, most engagement. That's your top influencers, if we want to call it that. Then there's the one step ahead influencers, which are accounts that are just ahead of you. So if you have, say, 100 followers, we're looking for the accounts that have 500. If you have 500, we're looking for the accounts that have 1,000. These are probably more important because these are the people who are just one step ahead of you. So you'll probably be able to reach them, contact them, even have a dialogue or discussion with them. So these people can become very valuable to you. And then there's the future influencers, where they're the people that are just getting them started themselves. So if you're at 1,000 followers, let's say, with decent engagement, these are the people that are just starting up their account or have 500 followers. They're more than likely going to be reaching out to you, commenting on your stuff. Don't discredit them, and build that relationship with them, because you never know if they're going to leapfrog you and become the next big thing. So how do you find influencers? I'm going to show you this right now, right here. So if you look at my screen, I'll show you exactly how I found the influencers in the boxer dog market. Where are we here? Okay. There it is. Okay. So all you do is go into the search function and just simply type in your main keyword, which is boxer dog. And right here, this will give you all the top accounts for whatever reason. This won't necessarily give you the most followers, but this is what Instagram has determined as the top accounts for the search term. If you want just broken down into people, that's there. This will give you an idea of the top hashtags that people are using for that market, which then you can say, click on boxer dog, and you can start going through these top posts. And you can see this video has got 97,756 views. So I might want to go check out this account. And sure enough, 446,000 followers on that account. So it's really that easy. The other quick hack, so another tip for you guys while you're looking for influencers, is you can actually go into your browser, okay? And what you want to do is you type in URL, okay, colon, Instagram.com. And what this does is it's looking at an index of that website. And then all you do is you put in one of these guys, and then your key terms that you're searching. So boxer dog, okay? Enter. Okay, so this tells you all the accounts that are on Instagram, the top ones for those. So that gives you the Google search for how to find those influencers. And just remember, like I said, when you're doing this, don't just end at the ones that are huge account size. You also want to be looking for those midterm ones as well. And just make sure they're relevant accounts. Like if I look at this one, it's Evelyn Miranda. She probably has some boxer stuff going on here, but if you're looking to build an audience of boxer dog people or enthusiasts, she might not be the best option. If we were talking about fashion, I would say she's definitely the right option by the looks of things. Okay. All right, let's get moving along. We're already halfway through this thing, and I'm still on the first element. Okay. All right, so crafting a compelling profile bio. I'm going to go through this really quick, and I'm going to show you guys yet again my screen here on the phone to walk us through this. And my phone's crashed. Give me 1 second. Okay, so my phone's not helping me here. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so username, make sure it's relevant. That is probably the #1 thing. People, there's only 2 things that are searchable when it relates to your profile. 1 is your username, and 2 is your actual name. You can have 2 different things. Up here at the top, that thing that I'm kind of highlighting that says my dog, boxer dog buddy, can be different from your name on your profile. You could have Scott Weller and then real Scott Weller, except one or the other in either place. Make sure whatever you're branding your page, whether it be your personal page, your business page, or your fan page, is relevant. Because when people go in and do that search that I just did to look at other boxer dog influencers, that's the only reason I found them, was because they're using relevant terms in their name, okay? So let's go in and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So you can see at the top there, it says my boxer dog buddy right here. And then it says my boxer dog buddy here. These could be different, but I want them to stay the same so everyone sees the symmetry in the naming. But you could say, call this, your business name here, and then down here have a description of your business that could add more relevant search terms. The other thing you want to look for is your profile photo. Make sure it's a good photo. I see so many bad photos out there, and people are like, their face is half cut off, or you can't tell, they have a logo that you can't even tell what it means, or it's not meant for the circular pattern that Instagram uses. Make sure if you're going to put a photo in there, and you absolutely should, make sure it's a good one. Because that's probably the first impression everyone's getting when they find you in a search. Profile description, again, make sure it's relevant. Some people will put hashtags in their description. Don't do it. You're wasting a character, and it doesn't work anyway. So if you click on that hashtag, it's not going to show up in any search anyway. You can use this website thing or section here to put a link to a website. And then this call to action thing is, yet again, like I said, do as I say, not as I do. I'm working on my call to action here with the website. So that's why the website's not in there. But your call to action should drive people to your website. The purpose of Instagram is to curate an audience so that you can take them off of Instagram and take them to your opportunity. So everyone get that? That's important to understand, is you want to build Instagram into the place to be. People come and see you, watch what you're doing, but your end goal is to take them off Instagram to your website, because that's what your business is. That's where they're going to learn more about your opportunity. In fact, I would say limit the amount of sales stuff on Instagram. There's a theory that's called jab, jab, right hook, which is jab them with all the kind of value, good stuff that people are looking for, and then right hook. And when you think about a boxing match, they throw dozens of jabs before any right hook. So give them value, give them value, give them value, give them a look at your personal life, then take them to your sales page. Okay. I'm Amanda, how are you feeling? Like, I know I'm going really quick and I don't want to go too quick.
It's good. I'm getting lots of notes. Plus, it's going to be recorded. So if someone misses something, they can always go back.
Okay. So we'll go right into content strategy. All right. So what is a content strategy? Some people get a little bit intimidated when they hear that term. Don't. All it is basically, how are we going to post what we're going to post? That's really it. So what to post? Oh, sorry. I did not mean to do that. Technical difficulties. Okay. Content strategy, what to post. So just post whatever would be authentic to you. I mean, if we're talking about a personal account, we already went through the different pages. Just make sure you post what people would expect from that page and try to remain consistent. Like, if we go back to, I'll bring up my personal page again. If we go back to this, one thing that I preach is try to remain consistent. Try to make it feel like a familiar place. So when people come back, they know they're going to the real Scott Weller's profile. You know what to expect when you look at this, right? Middle column, which will shift when you post, but one column is always going to be adventure stuff. One column is always going to be quotes, and then kind of a hodgepodge of my other interests on the other. So just make sure whatever you are posting is consistent with what you're trying to create, and be very intentional about it. Timing of posts. This is where I'm going to say test, test, test. Always be testing, because you're going to find that your audience is going to be more active given different times of the day. And that's going to be different for every person in every market and every audience. So just always be testing. And for the first little while, spread them out. One in the morning, one midday, one in the evening, and kind of do that for a while. And then you'll start to see where the best times are to post. Look and feel, talked about that a little bit. Just try to remain consistent. And then consistency has a couple of elements to it. One is, once you figure out what that timing is that's best for your audience, make sure you're consistently posting at that time. You can add additional posts to other times to test them, but always stay consistent to where you're seeing the best results. And just remain consistent overall. Don't, like I said at the beginning, don't go crazy for 3 days and then take 4 days off. Instagram, and I'll say it again, Instagram will reward people that are consistent. I did another test a while ago where I was posting as many as 15 times a day, and then I stopped. And when I was doing the 15 times a day, I was getting huge engagement, probably triple what I'm getting now, where I'm posting probably 3 to 4 times a day. And my growth was through the roof. I was getting anywhere between 100 and 200 new followers a day. And then I stopped for 3 days, and I started posting 15 times a day again. And my engagement level was probably a 10th of what it was not even a week before. So consistency, consistency, consistency. Secret weapon, like I said before, if you don't know what to post, content curation. Find these influencer accounts that I mentioned. Find what they're posting that makes sense to repost. Repost it and give them credit. This will do 2 things. It gives you new, fresh content ideas, and it also shows those influencers that you're trying to spread their message, which helps with relationship building. Remember, being social, build that social network on the social platform. Okay, growth. So really, sorry, one last thing about content strategy. Write down what your strategy is. How many posts a day are you going to do? What type of posts a day are you going to do? What time are you going to post? What, if any, content curation element are you going to use? If you're going to use content curation, what other accounts are you going to use? Write that all down. Have it on a piece of paper, and then just every day where you go and you plan out your posts, it's right there in front of you. Okay, growth. This is the one that everyone asks about because all the other stuff is boring. Now let's talk about growing followers. The one thing I'm going to caution everyone on is don't get into the habit of looking at your followers and basing results on your following. It's a dangerous game to play, because what'll happen is you'll go up, let's say 20 followers in a day, and you'll feel real good about yourself. And then you'll come back the next day and you'll find that 5 people have unfollowed you. And that happens all the time. There's ebb and flow constantly. So don't worry about it if people unfollow you, even if you know them. Don't worry about it. Just know that if you stick with your game plan, in the end, you're going to come out ahead. But hashtags are really, really, really important. So if you don't understand hashtags, hashtags are basically the way that Instagram helps you search things out. So like I said, if we use the boxer dog example again, if we're looking for that, and we go to tags, we can click on that, and every post that has used that hashtag in the post should show up here. And what you want to do when you start planning out your hashtags, and I'm going to go back to the Boxer Dog Buddy account for this example again, is you want to, first of all, look at your influencers. What hashtags are they using? Okay. And which ones are they using consistently? Because they're going to be testing too. So go and look through a few of their posts, take a look at the hashtags, write them down. The other thing you can do is just, yet again, like I showed you before, boxer dog is my main, dog is my main search term. This over here is going to give me a bunch of different ideas of different hashtags, okay? And the initial response is going to want to be, well, I want to grab the hashtags with the biggest posts, right? So you can see at the top, boxer dogs have over 1 million, boxer dog has over 1 million posts. Then boxer dogs has 220,000. Boxer dogs of Instagram has 45,000. Your first response is going to be to want to grab all of those, but you can grab them, but then mix them with some of the middle range, like these boxer dog fans, where it's 12,000. This boxer dog's rule, 4,000. And the reason why you don't load up on all of the big ones is, if you can imagine, let's go here again to boxer dog hashtag. If you can imagine, all the most recent posts here show up right here where I'm showing you. If there's 1 million posts, that means people are posting with that hashtag more regularly. You want to be able to stay on this page as long as you can for anyone that's searching out boxer dog. So if there's 1 million posts, this page is scrolling through way faster than, say, I don't know, boxer dog love. So there's only 1,400 posts on this one. So your picture and your post is going to stay relevant a lot longer. So you want to mix together the big ones, the medium ones, and then you want to create unique hashtags to yourself. And what that is, only you can figure out. But for me, for the boxer dog account, it was my, oh, here we go. My boxer dog, or sorry, boxer buddy. And there you go. There's been 1,325. But as you saw in my account, people are using that hashtag and tagging us. So they can not only can they just tag me with my account, but with my hashtag too. And I can see what the response is. My boxer buddy. So everyone in here is either myself or someone tagging using the hashtag I created. Now there's going to be some that just happen to use the same hashtag, but for the most part, this is all because of the hashtag we created. So remember, in terms of hashtags, you want the big ones, the medium, and then create some unique ones for yourself. So daily growth strategy. I'm going to show you guys this real quick. I know we're getting a little long in time, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did when I started out to grow the account. And all I'm doing is exactly what I've already shown you guys. I'm going into boxer dog, and I'm going to say that we decided that this boxer dogs on Insta was one of the influencers in the marketplace. I'm going to click on their followers, and all I'm going to do very simply is follow 20 to 30 people. Let's just say I did 20 to 30 people. The odd one, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to look at their picture, double click. I'm going to comment, what a beautiful face. And that's it. That is honestly it. You follow 20 to 30 people a day, say pick 10 of them that you go in and like a few of their photos and comment on a couple of them, and then you're going to get followers. Then at the end of the week, you guys are going to you can go to the App Store and download an app called Crowdfire. And this tells you all your non-followers, and you just clean out your account. And these are the people that aren't following you back. And you don't have to delete them if you want to keep them because you find their account interesting. Great. But if you have people that aren't as active on their account, or you're not getting, a follow back, and it's for business purposes, then just clear out your account. And that's what you do. That's it. That's your daily growth strategy to grow your account pretty quick. The other thing you can do is you can DM people. So again, let's go in here and free as a boxer. So this is the same account that we were just in. I can come up here, click on that, send a message. I just love her face. And sorry, I'm getting text messages from my sister. And typically, anytime I do a DM, you're getting usually a 70% response rate in my experience. The other beautiful thing about DMs is when you DM a person, the way that Instagram will put someone into your feed on top or below or whatever is relevance to your interaction with them. So if you've DM'd them, that has a greater weight than, say, just a like, because it looks like you guys are friends and communicating back and forth. So to put this into simple terms, if you've DM'd a person back and forth a few times, the next time they open Instagram, you being at the top of their feed is more likely. The other thing we can do, and I'm going to switch back over to my personal account for this one. Have you guys played with Instagram stories yet? You should, because it is powerful. So in here, so just at the top of the page, you're going to see all these buttons. You can go in, and what these are posts that only last for 24 hours, either images or videos. You can go in here. This is my boxing coach. He must be at the Oil Kings game. Awesome, man. Wish I was there. And don't spam people. Have a legitimate conversation. But you can go through this and comment on 4 or 5 different people. Here's my workout coach. Get to work, you bum. Go in and have fun. Just be yourself. I would say that to him, to his face, even though he can crush me. But just do that with a few people and make new relationships. I've met so many people by just looking at their stories and commenting, a quick relevant comment on their post. And now all of a sudden, the next time they're opening Instagram, I'm probably near the top. Okay? So those are 4 really quick tips to get you some growth. Yeah, see there, he's already commenting back to me. So real quick, I'm going to summarize these as quick as I can because we're getting really far along here, but we've gone over the hashtags. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys is as you're doing your hashtag research, just save them in your notepad. Oh, I've got it covered. Save it in your notepad. I save multiple different hashtag groupings. The other thing to keep in mind is you can only post 30 hashtags per post, okay? So put 30 hashtags and use every one of them. Why wouldn't you? It's just more ways for people to find you. But copy them, save them to your notes page, and then every time you go to post, just select, copy, go back to Instagram, and then when you go to post, here's the other trick for you guys, is don't post it in the description of the picture you're posting. Post it in the first comment below. So come back in after you've finished posting it, post it here, because then as people comment, it won't look real spammy like some people think it looks with a bunch of hashtags there below. It'll be hidden in the comments right there, the first comment. Okay. And we talked about all the hashtags. Great. Just looking to see if I missed anything, like 1 to 3 photos and comment, follow their account. So just imagine that kind of what I went through with our follow for follow strategy. Here's the specific steps to take. So you can get a screenshot of that there, Amanda, for the video. But just think about this. When people are following you on Instagram and you get that little notification, what's the first thing you do? You go and check out that person's account. That's the idea of what we're looking for on this too. They'll see that you liked a few of their photos, commented, maybe even followed them, and they're going to go check out your account. And if they like what you're doing and you've done a good job of identifying who your Bob should be, then it's a perfect match. It's a match made in heaven. They'll follow you back. And then the DM, keep it positive and upbeat. Never, ever. Here's a quick tip, but it's not even a quick tip. It's a golden rule. Never engage in controversy, no matter if you agree with it or not. You want to build a reputation for yourself on Instagram, and you don't want it to be the wrong reputation. So any controversial or negative or anything like that, just steer clear. Just don't comment. Disengage. Never try to sell anything through DM, because the moment you do, they're just going to think you're trying to sell them something, and they're just not going to pay attention. Focus on building relationships. And then the stories, as I talked about here, go ahead and post a few videos and images of yourself. The kind of etiquette behind using stories or full posts is, if it's just a quick snapshot and you're trying to tell your story in the moment, that should be stories. If you're trying to post something that you want to last, then just do it as normal. And that's kind of it. Like I mentioned earlier, I created a free private Facebook group where I share all this stuff and more. So Amanda, if you'd like, I can send you the link, and then you can send it out to the group if they're interested in joining and getting more stuff. Instagram.
Yep, definitely. I can send it out to them.
Okay. I know I kind of ate away at our time, but do we have 5 minutes to just ask if anyone has any questions or what?
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's a bunch of people commenting on the Facebook post like, shit, I'm missing it. I'm going to watch the recording. So I don't know if they'll have any questions, but I can add them to the group if they want. I have a silly question.
No, they're never silly.
Okay, so if we use a hashtag, even if our account is private, people can see it, right? Or do we have to make our account public?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked that question.
Okay, good.
Because this is actually, so that day when my nephew came up with the Bob comment, I spent 3/4 of that time pounding into my sister's head, she's a holistic nutritionist, and that's her business. Like, she doesn't do anything other than that. Holistic nutritionist, full-time mom of 6 kids.
I would never do that, but that's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy. But if you are using Instagram for your business, and the idea is to try and attract an audience, which then can be converted into transactions, but you want to maintain the audience, not a customer, why would you put an obstacle in front of them?
That's true. That's a good point.
So I always say if it's for business purposes, you got to come up with a really good reason why it's private.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if it's a matter of, and her biggest challenge was, well, I have my pictures of my kids on there, blah, 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 and she didn't want to leave it open, then I would say that's when you separate the two. You have a private account and a business account.
Mm-hmm.
And they've made it so easy. I don't know if you guys noticed while I was showing you guys, but you can add accounts and it's just a quick one touch to switch between accounts, right? Like it's so easy now. You don't have to sign out, sign in, sign out, sign in. You sign in once and then you switch back and forth. And you can do that by going over here into and then where is it? Linked accounts. No, sorry, my bad. Where is it? It's add account. There you go. Then you just add the accounts, cool. And then you have them in the quick selection menu at the top after that.
Okay, that's cool. What was my other question? Can you show me that where your friend was at the game? Like, how did you get in there? What was that called again?
Oh, so if you haven't downloaded an updated version of Instagram, or if you happen to have an old old hardware, like an older phone or whatever, then you might not have it yet. So you just want to go to the App Store and make sure you've uploaded the latest version of Instagram. But really, it's just at your home screen. And then these circles at the top are everyone that's posted a story.
And so is that kind of equivalent to like Facebook Live type thing or Periscope?
No, because it's not live. They may have just posted it, but it's more like Snapchat.
I don't use Snapchat.
Do you have to do anything specific to create a story, or is it just if you've posted several things over 24 hours, it will automatically generate your story?
It won't automatically generate. If you posted, then it will only. So if, you know what, why don't I walk you through both right now? Is that good for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the story especially. I do know how to post, but I don't know how to make a story.
Okay, then I'll focus on that. So all you do is you come up to that little add button, and let's take a picture of my favorite guy here. Lazy Bones. Oh, no, okay, Bun worked too, but there you go. And you can kind of play with it, you know, just go in there and kind of play around a little bit. You can self-teach yourself all the elements of it really quick. And then all you do is hit that little check mark, and now it's live. Or not live, but now it's up and posted. So I click on my story, and there it is. And then here's some other things that I've posted today, right? So it's going to be gone. Oh, sorry.
Oh, so that doesn't post to your timeline or to your actual profile?
No.
Cool.
And it's gone.
It's just like Snapchat. So it's just like a few photos that randomly, they just last 24 hours.
Exactly.
And you have
if you
to
look
take
at
them through the app.
Sorry?
You have to take them through the app. They can't upload through your, okay, I've got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you look up there at the top, it says Real Scott Weller 14 hours. So I know I got 10 hours before this photo disappears. If I click down at the bottom and I decide I really like the photo, then I can save the photo and share it as a post.
Cool. This is really cool, especially if you're experiencing something like in our business, we'll be at conferences and things like that. So
I see it all the time. You know what? If I shouldn't really name drop, and it's another network marketing opportunity, but I think for you guys, I love the way that one person's using Instagram for the network marketing space, and her name's Lena Stadler. She's a WFG girl, but
can you spell it? Like, how's the last name spelled so we can search it out?
You know what? Why don't I just see if I can she's probably on here. She always is. Like, she's using stories in a great way.
Cool.
I follow other network marketing people all the time.
There she is.
Yes, that
And so, you know, like she'll do little videos like this. And then, you know, after the meeting, food, hotel life. And then she'll post things from like events like you were talking, or in the office, or I really enjoy the way that she does it.
Cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
For us, like it can be a little bit unproductive for everybody to be spending time building a website, et cetera. Like, we're given a website from the company. Yet our website from the company is very product-based, very. And so I've seen other network marketing companies have their Instagram linked to a Facebook page, which probably is less time consuming. I'm just trying to figure out where we should bring them for our sales.
So there's going to be I can make some suggestions, but again, always be testing.
Yeah.
If I was myself right now, Facebook pages aren't great.
Okay.
Facebook pages, because you have to, let's go through the steps real quick. Instagram, you're spending all this time to curate engaged audience that we know, looking at those statistics, is better than Facebook already. If you break it down even further, Facebook pages, with the algorithm change that they went through about 2 or 3 years ago, you actually have to pay to engage your own audience on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't take them there. If I'm going to take them to Facebook, I'm going to build a Facebook group, because groups, anytime you post, go into everyone's feed that are a part of the group. Not to mention, the Facebook group has so much more flexibility with what you offer in terms of value to the people that are on there. Like, I spend no time on my Facebook page anymore. I have 9,000 people on there, and I can't get through to even 10 of them on a good post.
Wow. So here's my concern with a group. Like, I've been added to so many groups without permission, and it's just such a turn off. And so that's the last thing I'd like my team to be doing. But
absolutely. In fact, I'm in the exact same boat. I get mad.
Yeah,
and
me too. I like to delete myself immediately.
And I think it ruins it's a strike against the reputation in my eyes. So just don't be that person.
So if you get engagement off of Instagram and you want to bring them to a group, can you fill the gap there for me? How that would work?
So remember how I was talking about building a profile?
Yeah.
So in here, in your description, you would say, what is your value proposition, right? Like, and I hate using catchphrases, so I'll just say, what are you going to offer people that they're going to see as value? You build that into
recipes, nutrition, healthy living, that kind of stuff.
But don't overwhelm them.
Right.
Keep it simple. So if you're going to focus on recipes and that's going to be your group, then you say, for more great recipes like you see below, click here. And you even have the emoticons that are pushing down towards the link right below it in your profile. And people will click on it. They'll go and maybe go one step further and say, for more great recipes, join my free private Facebook group for a limited time only.
Okay. I like that. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Is there an app that helps you to post regularly? Like, I know there's some on Facebook Buffer and that kind of thing. And I personally can tell when on Facebook people are using them, and I find it less personal. But if there was a way to do it without being outed that you're doing it, it would be great, because it's overwhelming to post so many times.
Yeah, and as I said, the way I did it is the way I did it. You don't have to go 15 times a day. I was just doing that purely for like research purposes. And it matters. Like, if you just want to go gangbusters at this, then do it 15 times a day for a week and see what happens.
Yeah.
But there is an app that helps you schedule out posts, but Instagram doesn't have an interface. They don't allow an external third-party interface to post for it. what'll happen with this app is it'll give you a prompt to go in and then post. And it was called Latergram. If you Google Latergram, it'll show up with what it's called now. I think it's called either Later. I think it might just be called Later now.
Okay.
I myself don't use it because I'm just into my own schedule now.
Yeah.
But it is a good app for that.
Okay, and one last question for you, which is a little bit off topic, but how are you showing your phone to us on Zoom? I'll be using that later.
I get that one. Actually, you want to hear the greatest part? Is I can actually record this whole thing too.
Cool.
You see that? The record button?
Wow.
And all it is QuickTime. QuickTime, you plug it in to your Apple either laptop or desktop, and then you file new movie recording will show up first. You click on that, and then it'll show your screen, and by the record button it'll have this little arrow, and you drop it down, and then you go from FaceTime HD camera down to iPhone, and then you can record your phone.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. This was so good. I really appreciate it. I'm excited
Hi. No, yeah, that's great. Thanks for the feedback. And yeah, like I said, come on into the Facebook group. I'm not the type of person that will add people. I make the invitation, and if people choose to join, I'm more than happy to have them. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to be added for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, thanks, Mandy, for putting this on. I'm so grateful.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for joining, and thanks, Scott, for your time.
You're welcome.
I'll stop. Oh, I haven't stopped the recording. I'll stop